Hello everybody and welcome to Whiskey Daddy Review number 27. This is our first Whiskey Daddy review outside. We're on my porch. Hopefully the sound of all the cars whizzing by will not be too loud. If it is, I probably won't film another one out here, but we're going to film this one out here. Today we're bringing you the Glenmorangie starter kit. This is basically small bottlings. So the little guy here, little 100 ml bottlings of the big bottles. So the one we're doing today is the 10-year original, but you can buy this little pack and it comes with the 10-year original, and then the La Santa, which is the 10-year original that has been finished for an additional 2 years in a sherry cask. The Quinta Ruban, which is the 10-year original finished for an additional 2 years in a port cask, and then the Nectar d'Or, which is finished for an additional 2 years in a Sauternes cask. So today is just the original. It's the 10 years, their base product, 43% ABV. It does not say whether it's non-chill filtered or not on here, so I'm assuming that it is, although I know that in the portwood finish it says non-chill filter, so I don't know about this one though. You get the box, you look all the information about the distillery. It is a Highland single malt. It's one of the lighter ones. Okay, and of course, as always, I got it poured over here. Typically I don't like nosing and tasting whiskey outside. I find that the humidity clings to the glass and I get sort of this overwhelming wet dog smell in the background. But at the end of this review, I'm going to be smoking a nice cigar, so I got to be outside to do that one. And of course, as I start doing the reviews, the loudest vehicles start going by. If you're just getting started in Scotch whiskey, or if you've been doing Scotch whiskey for a while, this is an absolute must. I feel like this is a fantastic whiskey for beginners. It's not too aggressive. It's beautifully complex. And as soon as you nose it, you know you're nosing a Glenmorangie. It has that very distinct distillery character, the tallest stills in Scotland, and so you're getting a very refined, very light, very aromatic floral spirit. All right, on the nose, butterscotch, hints of chocolate, raw honey. There's a bittersweet woodiness in there. That's the only way I know how to describe it. A light grassy note. Of course, there's a bunch of hints of like floral and vanilla in the background. The types of flowers I couldn't tell you. And then with a hint of water, and just a hint, it brings out sort of this yeasty, boosty sourness in it. It's just another level of complexity. When we get to the palate, you're going to see the palate isn't nearly as complex as the nose on this. The nose is one of the most complex noses that you can nose in Scotch whiskey. All right, let's take a taste. The arrival, it's a little bit bitter and sour. It's not very sweet arrival, and it's a little odd because to me the arrival is almost tasteless. It's got a little bit of cocoa in there, a little bit of coffee, but really it's when the development kind of starts to wind up, you start really tasting the spirit. Weird. Let's take another small sip here. Love that nose. You gotta leave it on the palate for a while. First part of the development, you get the butter. Okay, so we had a slight camera malfunction there. Hopefully I can splice these two videos together. If not, this is part two. All right, we're in the development as we were before. Okay. And the development's really where you can start to taste this whiskey. Butterscotch, orange peel, vanilla. There's a silky wood note that comes up. My biggest fault with this particular whiskey is I find the mouthfeel to be a little bit thin on it. I wish it was a little bit thicker. I'd actually like to taste this whiskey at 46%, like some of the other ones. When you add the water to it, it also brings out just a hint of a pineapple note at the end of the development into the finish. On the finish, apricot, more bitter wood, more hunty, a hint of caramel, and that kind of trails off. It's the caramel and the woodiness kind of leave you last on the finish. Finish is medium to medium long in length. It's a decent finish, especially considering that generally this whiskey retails between $35 to $40, somewhere in that zone. As a matter of fact, this time of year, we're getting on in September, October, November. You can start finding the gift sets of this, which have 2 Glenmorangie glasses in it, along with the whiskey. And the gift sets are normally cheaper than the whiskey by itself. So be on the lookout for that, guys. All right. I like this one. I like this whiskey a lot. This is the first one in the range, our little 10-year. So next up is going to be the La Santa. So that's going to be the next one we're going to do next over here. I like the 10, but the finished ones are really where my heart is, especially when we get to a particular one. You'll know which one it is. Before we leave today, though, let's cut this cigar up. A buddy of mine gave this to me. Jamie Garcia. Reserva Especial. From my father. Alright. I'm not a huge fan of these torpedo tips here. I generally like the rounder tips on. We're just going to take that very end of that one off right there. And the reason I don't like it is because they seem to concentrate the smoke a little bit too far down on my tongue. But see, I left a few rings on there, so that'll help hold that cap in. Of course, you want to use either a matchsticks or a nice butane lighter. Butane lighter that works, hopefully. Maybe. There we go. 18th time is a charm. Alright, so we're going to get it nice and toasted here. Nice even toasting going on. There we go. Fall. Gotta love it. Cigars. And scotch. Alright, well that's it for this Whiskey Daddy. Coincidentally, if you want to see another Glenmorangie, go back to Whiskey Daddy Review number 5. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.